Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Comment Show. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here on this channel I do vlogs talking about wherever the fuck comes to mind, whatever the hot topic of the day is. And then on Thursday I take a bunch of the best comments you guys have left throughout the week and I respond to them, I expand on them, or tell you why you're fucking retarded. But first, I wanted to do the first comment correction. So I am not infallible as much as I would like to be, and sometimes I make some mistakes, and today's comment correction comes from Max Watson, who says, Team Ninja is gone? Question mark, question mark. Neo is by Team Ninja, and it's fucking great. And you know what? He's completely correct. Team Ninja is still around. I'm an idiot. What I meant to say is that Shinobu Itagaki, the head of Team Ninja from back in the day, he left the company. And it seems that Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, and all that shit kind of died with his departure. So that's what I meant when I said Team Ninja was dead. It's dead to me, because I don't give a fuck about Neo. I probably should. Heard it's pretty good. I don't care. I'm a loser. I care about the shit that I know. I'm afraid of new things, and so there you go. Congratulations, Mac Watson. Round of applause for you. You kicked my ass in the comments and made me look like an idiot. So thanks a lot. Appreciate that. So let's get on to the actual comments that I actually liked, and not the ones that made me feel like an idiot. So on Monday we talked about My Hero Academia and how it's fucking the shit. So first comment we got is from Jake Port, and he says, you should try Hunter x Hunter 2011. It sounds like you'd enjoy it. Its fights rarely last more than an episode and a half, and they're amazing. And I actually got like, I think 5 or 6 different comments from people telling me I should check out Hunter x Hunter. A lot of people have told me to check out Hunter x Hunter. I know it's one of Digibro's favorite shonen anime series, and I've heard a lot of good things about how like the power structure in it works and how it's really good. It's also by the same dude who did Yu Yu Hakusho, and I love Yu Yu Hakusho, so I feel like I would love this. I'm just, like I just said about Neo, I'm retarded when it comes to trying new things. So I'll get around to it eventually. It's on my list. My list is a mile long of shit for the last like 20 years. I said that I'll get around to watching at some point, and I haven't done it yet. But thanks Jake for reminding me that yeah, I do have to get off my ass and check that out. We got another comment here from Shooting Comet, who says, I absolutely love Hero Academia 2 for everything you said about the action compared to other shonen, but also the incredible amount of small detail that surrounds this simple series. And the best part about most of the small hidden details that is done through the writing or drawings and animation is the detail added for all the other classmates, characters in the story. We only have 2 seasons so far, and yet I feel these characters are very well fleshed out, especially Shoto, Ida, Momo, Raka, and Bakugo. To make me care about so many characters in such a short amount of time is baffling. The man who created Hero Academia is a fucking genius, and I hope that continues as the series goes on. And yeah, I pretty much agree with all of this. The characters in My Hero Academia are all very archetypal, but their archetypes done really well. And so like I feel like my inner critic should be sticking my nose up at the series for being so archetypal in its characters, but they're done with such love. They're done with such caring. They feel so genuine. They're archetypal, but archetypes are around for a reason. When you do them well and you don't fall back too much on tropes and you use the kind of foundation of an archetype and build a really respectful, personal, genuine character on top of it, it's fucking good. And that's what this show does. So My Hero Academia, it's fucking great. So let's move on to Tuesday. On Tuesday, we talked about Activision once again doing some bullshit microtransaction garbage. They filed another patent, which fucking sucks. And the first comment we got is from Domino Pivot. He says, ha, I know the feel. I currently work at Ubisoft. Press F to pay respects. As an intern, not on game development though, and I'm just as disgusted. When you see it from the inside, you really get to experience this joy, this excitement around the games. These people are passionate and proud of their work, but more often than not, the higher-ups' decisions to tarnish the company's image and make them look like we're all a bunch of vampires. Nah, we're gamers too. On lunch breaks, we complain about de novo slowing down our PCs just as much as the next guy. Now, I'm gonna shut up before I accidentally insult Ansel and lose my job. So this is something I've always kind of expected. Like, of course, like I don't think anybody really thinks that everybody at Activision and Ubisoft and EA are like fucking vultures. Like it's the corporate side of these companies, right? Because you look at like the tangible products they put out, and you pull away all the corporate bullshit, there's like really good work going on here. Like I know I've said my piece about realism in games and stuff and how I'm not a huge fan of it, but just the amount of like technical work and the amount of passion and blood, sweat, and tears you have to put into this kind of work to get something like that to happen and to be effective is just incredible. So yeah, I'm sure that like all the guys in the trenches actually making the games are fucking great people. Because right, who would want to go into the industry unless you love the industry? I don't think a game developer's wage is like super competitive or anything. So I don't think you do it for the money. You got to do it for the passion. And it really sucks that there's these fucking corporate vultures in the higher up positions of all these companies fucking everything up. So Domino Point, hats off to you. Keep fighting the good fight. And yeah, good luck, man. We got another comment from Boom Machine that says, okay, on top of this being shit, how the fuck can you just patent a concept so basic as this? This is just absurd. To have a buy prompt after footage with a thing, it's already been done already. You know, This is a good fucking point. This is a pop-up. Right? They've patented a pop-up, essentially. I guess maybe the weaseling away around it is because it's a pop-up for a specific type of media and a specific feature that they've already kind of implemented. I don't know. It still seems pretty flimsy to me. It's kind of bullshit. I agree with you, dude. Fuck that. Alright, and on Friday, we talked about Patreon's hypocritical attack on pornography. Our first question comes from Dawn Wayfinder, and they say, yeah, why not let creators label their work as NSFW like other art websites? But you know, common sense seems to be a rare thing nowadays. And this is the interesting thing, Dawn Wayfinder, and everybody else who thought this, you can already do that. Patreon already has this system in place. If you're an NSFW account, you have to label your account as NSFW and any posts that you make. This system already exists. So it's not like your random herpaderp 13-year-old's gonna bomb onto Patreon and find tits. It doesn't work like that. They have a system set up where you have to keep everything behind an NSFW wall if you're doing the diddly stuff. So I don't fucking get it. It seems like they've already put a system in place that keeps everything fine. And you know, this is why I think this is an image problem. This is them being prudes, and they don't want this association with pornography attached to their website. There's nothing illegal. There's nothing legally problematic. It's all just their sensibilities of what they want the site to be, and a discrimination against people who make erotic content. And I think that's bullshit. Captain Chair asks the important question of, ain't Patreon making big money off these porn creators? Why do they think it's a good idea to look a gift horse in the mouth? And this again, just follows up exactly what I was just saying. Patreon makes a percentage of all the money they make from their creators. So if a big fucking creator who's drawn tits makes tons of money, they get a significant cut of that money. So I'm sure that a lot of these accounts they're destroying, like if they took down Sakimi-chan, for example, for drawing tits, which I don't think Sakimi-chan's probably actually in trouble with the actual way the rules are being laid out, but let's say they did. They would lose one of their biggest sources of income on the site. Her account is massive. So why would they choose to give up money for things that aren't illegal? And again, it's because they have this sense of moral superiority and they're projecting their biases onto the community that uses their product. They don't want to be associated with the dirty plebeians and their porn. I only appreciate high art or whatever. So I think it's bullshit. I think they're all dumb. And yeah, good point. Fuck them. They're literally giving up money and making their business less successful in order to save face for their own subjective interpretation of taste and standards. So get fucked, Jack. Sugary Violet says, in the email we got from the Patreon CEO, he wrote that as of this morning, the guidelines state that we don't allow real people engaging in sexual acts such as masturbation or sexual intercourse on camera. And a post made by a Patreon representative in the Patreon creator community forum also stated that porn, which we define as real people engaged in sexual acts, has never been okay on Patreon. So artists who draw non-bestiality, rape, incest porn is still good. Drawn porn isn't being banned, and I so far haven't heard of anyone getting suspended and not getting their page back. There's still some question marks, but no need to overreact. Well, I think the fact that, I got 2 points here. I think the fact that people are getting suspended and then getting their account back still shows that there's some fucked up shit going on here, right? Because if they really didn't care about drawn porn, these people wouldn't be getting banned in the first place. Like, Patreon has made it abundantly clear that they don't have algorithms working like Google does. Like, Patreon's run by people. They're way smaller than Google. They don't have any, like, AI or shit running this stuff. It's people going around and banning things. Everything's run by people. That's why every time something happens with Patreon, they're down for, like, half a day, because I gotta have people manually going and fix shit. So there are people at Patreon who, if they're taking down drawn porn creators, then putting them back up, that there's still a bias against them. It's not in their terms and conditions to get rid of them, even though some people there clearly want to pull the trigger on it. My second point, and this is one that might get me in fucking trouble here, artists drawing non-bestiality, rape, incest porn is still good. What's wrong with bestiality, rape, and incest porn if it's drawn? I know that's a controversial statement to make, but I'm going to dig my heels in on this and kind of explain my perspective here, okay? I'm not into bestiality, I'm not into rape, I'm not into incest, but the reason that these things are bad in real life is because they all have victims, right? There's all victims, and there's like incest is more subjective in terms of like the situation of it, but in general they're frowned upon because there's victims of some sort in each of these, right? The lack of consent is really the basis of it. So you have victims there, but this isn't real. This is art. It's fake. It doesn't exist except in the mind and on the paper. So why is this a problem to do drawn if there's no victims? You know, it's the same thing of just like murder is bad, but it's fine to draw somebody getting shot in the face. You're not going to get thrown in prison for that because it's not real. Murder is illegal because there's a victim in the crime. You fucking offed somebody. But if you off somebody in media, in a movie, or in a TV show, or in a drawing, nobody gives a shit because it's fake. In my position, it's the same thing with bestiality, rape, and incest porn. There's no victim. It's all bullshit. You know, if weird people want to get off to that stuff, and this is the way that they can experience it without having any sort of actual victims involved, I don't fucking agree with it. I think it's weird, but I'm a free speech guy. Let them express themselves however they want. They can get off to whatever crazy shit they want. And there was another comment that I forgot to bring up here, but someone else said, like, where does the line get drawn between what's acceptable and what's not? Because if the internet has proven anything, it's that people can get off to absolutely anything. Like, there's some weird fucking shit out there. So, who gets to be the arbiter of what's acceptable and what's not? Patreon itself. And of course, it's completely subjective, and they'll make it up as they go along as things are added and subtracted from their site at their discretion. It's fucking bullshit. So I think, again, we're talking about like this subjective versus objective thing, and Patreon has their subjective terms, and so it makes everything confusing. If only there was some sort of structure in place that had an objective view of what's acceptable and not in society, so we could all govern by it and all be accepted by it. It's called laws! That's what laws are for. If we all just said, hey, let's stick with what's legal and what's not, there would be no gray area. Because there's no real gray area in the law. Aside from some interesting fringe cases, we pretty much, for the most part, know exactly what's legal and illegal when it comes to this shit. And that's why I think Patreon should just stick to the law and get their fucking biased perspectives out of the equation and let artists do art as long as it's not illegal. So, again, it all comes back to Jack trying to save face and keep his site squeaky clean, but the problem is you can't have a site all about promoting art and have it be squeaky clean, because art is fucking dirty and grungy and pushing the envelope. That's literally the definition of art. So, fuck that shit! Alright, that's all I got for this episode of The Comment Show. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting. Keep commenting. If you make cool comments, I'll bring them up on Thursday. If you make stupid comments, they're staying right in the comment page where they fucking belong. So, until next time, I'm Tom Oliver, and I will talk to all you guys again on Monday.